Good day everyone. Today we're talking about Module 3, adding fractions. In order to add fractions, you must have a common denominator. Okay. And so when we do, like here, the first set of problems, we have a common denominator, like 5 over 4 plus 3 over 4. When the denominator is the same, it's just going to stay the same. So in this case, they're both over 4, so our denominator is 4. And we're going to add the top. 5 plus 3 is 8. Just like we talked about in Module 1, with multiplying and dividing, you always have to reduce fractions. So 8 over 4 is 2. So a note here, the denominator does not change when you add fractions. So when we go back to this example, 5 fourths plus 1 fourth, again you're going to add the top. 5 plus 1 is 6 over 4. And then of course that reduces. Again, if you need to use that calculator feature, alpha y equals, enter, put in 6 over 4. And again, 2 over 5 plus 3 over 5, 2 plus 3 is 5 over 5 equals 1. And our last one here, 1 over 6 plus 1 over 6 equals 2 over 6. You can divide both by 2 to get 1 over 3. When you don't have a common denominator, we're going to make one. And so I'm going to show you what I call the loop method. You don't have to do this method, but you can. And so what you're going to do is we're going to find what's called the least common multiple. What number do 3 and 4, when you look at their times table, what is the first number they have in common? In this case, it's 12. So on the left side, what do I multiply 3 by to change my denominator from 3 to 12? And it's 4. So I'm going to multiply by 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. On the left side, what do I multiply 4 by to get my new denominator of 12? 3. 3 times 3 is 9. And then just like above, I'm going to add my numerators. 4 plus 9 is 13 over my common denominator of 12. Alright, I'm going to work through a few more examples with you here. Next one we've got is 5 over 6 plus 1/2. In this case, we're looking for what numbers do both 2 and 6 go into. And 2 goes into 6, so 6 is our common denominator. So on the left side, what do I multiply 6 by to get 6? 1. So 5 times 1 is 5. On the right side, what do I multiply 2 by to get 6? And it's 3. 1 times 3 is 3. Again, adding your numerators. So 5 plus 3 is 8 over your common denominator of 6. And then reduce that fraction to get 4 over 3. Alright, so the next one, we look at 3 and 8. What is the first common multiple? If you're looking at those 3 times tables, so you're thinking 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. 24 is the first number that shares a common multiple with 8. Some people will go off to the side and list the multiples until they get that first matching one. So again, what do I multiply 3 by to get to 24? Well, 8. So I'm going to go 8 times 1. And then what do I multiply 8 by to get 24? 3. 3 times 3 is 9. Add the 8 and 9 and we get 17 over 24. And again, you should always check that these reduce. Yeah, so our next one here, 5 and 4, our common denominator is 20. What do you multiply 5 by? Well, that's times 4. 7 times 4 would be 28. On the right side, we're going to multiply by 5. 5 times 5 is 25. Add your numerator together. 28 and 25 add to be 53 over my common denominator of 20. Now, I've heard students in the past say, oh, you just multiply them together. Well, as we saw with the 6 and 2 one, that's not always the case. So when we think about 6 and 9, we can multiply them together and get 54. That's a common denominator. But 6 and 9 both go into 18. So we want to find that lowest common multiple to find that smaller common denominator. So what do we multiply 6 by to get 18 is 3. 7 times 3 would be 21. On the right side, what do you multiply 9 by to get 18? 2. 4 times 2 is 8. Add the 21 and 8 to get 29 over 18. And that doesn't reduce. Our last one here, you'll notice it's the same denominators as the problem above, so we already know that our denominator is going to be 24. So, finding those least common multiples of 3 and 8. So on the left side, again, we multiply by 8. 8 times 2 is 16. On the left side, we're multiplying 8 by 3 to get 24. 5 times 3 is 15. 16 plus 15 is 31 over 24. And that would be our answer. Go ahead and complete the rest of this worksheet, front and back. And when you finish, turn it in to your teacher.